When I walked away from religion, I was able to see the directions of all my dreams. My dreams
Mm.
manifest every day. And
I
whenever I have a
say.
dream, I wake up. I have family members call me all the time. What you dream about? What's going on? So I can tell them what's finna happen. It opened up my spirituality. I do readings. I do all that. And like you said, it wasn't about leaving your God because I feel like I got closer to God when I left the
Okay.
religion alone.
Okay. That's right. Most, I'm sure you
Yes.
have. Now the question
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
while you were in church and or under these religions, both the two of you, since we have both of you here, and you may have had these different gifts all your life because we're born with these gifts, mind you, right? And
My
when you
grandmother was a famous prophet from Chicago.
So okay, and normally those spiritual gifts are passed down through the mitochondrial DNA from daughter to daughter or from granddaughter or grandmother to granddaughter, however it goes. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of those women are strong, are heavily in the church, right?
Yes,
And
Yes.
prophesying in the name and things of that nature,
yes,
but they're not realizing that they were born innately with that, right? It comes from
yes,
source itself. Now, some of
yes.
us, like you said, you do readings and things of that nature. You always had maybe been drawn to that or attracted to that. But while you were in the church, how did you feel about your gifts and not being able to tap in or want to talk to somebody about certain dreams you had or things of that nature? Did they shun you? Did they try to like quell that? Did they try to like quiet that skill set or that talent, that gift that you have? Did anyone
Oh,
ever
yes,
tell you that that was devil work and things of that
yes,
nature?
yes,
And how did it
yes,
make you
ma'am.
feel during that time?
Well, we're going to talk. I was in my mid teens
Mhm.
when I started seeing apparitions and different spirits and stuff appearing out of nowhere. And when I would explain this to fellow Christians, they would laugh or say, "Oh, it's demonic," or this. And then when I would tell people who my grandmother was, the Christian religion, they would laugh, and I'm looking at them like it's not funny, because every time something that was detrimental getting ready to happen to me in my life, a spirit would appear standing over my bed, and I knew that, okay, I got to back away from them because something ain't right with them. If
Mm.
God is steady letting these apparitions come into my life, if I've been having dreams about the future since I was in my teens, then I got to move away from this religion. And not only that, my children and my husband would spaz out every Sunday.
Mm.
And I'm talking about my children were babies. And I'm like, get up, you got to go to church. We're going to church. And I'm talking about they would literally raise hell. It was when all the elders in my family passed away within a month. I
Wow.
realized Christianity ain't for you. Now you're the elder and you're 40 years old. You need to wake up and see what's really going on. And I look back at how my husband was acting, how my children was acting. I was paying attention to the dreams. I was paying attention to how hard I was praying to this deity, Jesus, and everybody in my family just died at once. And I'm like, yo, something's wrong. This ain't the right way to go. Even
Wow.
though I'm not arguing religion, because the spirit talks to me and tell me never do that. Let them believe in what they want to believe in until God speaks to them. But for
Mm.
right now, you're going to do what I want you to do.
I say. I say. So, Crown, what about you, sister? What about you?
Yeah, so I found my gifts when I was very young. I'm going to say probably about around 3 or 4. When I would sleep, I would astral project and I would have to fight spirits.
Oh, that's so
Ooh.
scary.
They
That's
would
so
be,
scary.
I could look over at the bed, I could see my body like I was still in the
Bam.
bed, I was
Yep.
sleeping, but I was at the end of the bed and I was
Yep.
going to war. I was fighting.
That. Oh.
When when I started getting more involved in the church and I started learning the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
when I would be back in those situations, I knew how to speak authority. This is how I knew my throat chakra. This is how I knew how to speak with authority.
I say.
So I went to after that, they didn't bother me anymore. It wasn't until I went to college in a different atmosphere, meeting new people,
Mm-hmm.
that I had the same experience again. One day in my dorm, and luckily, my roommate, she was a minister, but she was young, just like me, and so she was able to. She seen it, like she seen it happen, and she was able to see in that, in that realm. And then I think now that I've gotten older, um, I went more spiritual because I ended up having church hurt in the sense of I was SA by the pastor. And so
Mm,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
and
This,
so
I'm
I
glad you're.
realized
Go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
I realized that I felt like I was my religion had been indoctrinated into me, and it was kind of more so forced. I'm not I believe in God. Um I believe in everything. I believe in the word. I believe that everything has a divine order. But religion for me caused my hurt. And
Mm.
so I had to relearn my relationship with God in my own way.
Mm,
And not even in my own way. It was the way that he wanted me to know him for myself. So that is where I found peace. I did not go to church. My grandmother and my mom, they was like, you need to go to church, like you need to go. And they knew what happened to me. Like they knew my mom continued to go to the church even though she knew that he did this to me. And it was very hard. And so I felt alone. But my great grandmother, which is my grandmother's mom, she's the reason that I'm a hairstylist today. She was my first client. I started doing her hair at 11 years old. And so I think that is what spirituality was to me, was to keep myself grounded, for me to go deep down inside of me, to have self-love, for me to not look for love from anyone else, to not look for it from in a religious standpoint of view. So that's what it's been for me. So I'm just excited that I'm able to see my fullness, and I'm excited to see what more is going to be.
Ashe. I appreciate you
ooh,
sharing your story like that
mm,
because many women are subjected
yes,
to that are subjected
yes.
to that
Yep,
those attacks.
yep,
Those are spiritual attacks. And
yes,
it's the
ma'am.
pastor, like this the head of this church, right? That's doing
Yes,
this
ma'am.
to women and children. Because I had a long conversation with another sister today about this, and I said it was one of my missions to awaken as many women, especially Black women, to their divinity. And what it is we have to understand there's a difference between religion and spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
many don't know that there's a difference. Many people, but well, what are you talking about? Like religion, you have to understand religion is the indoctrination. Religion
Hmm.
is an institution created by
I got. Oh,
groups of people to dictate how you should have a relationship with your creator. And if you don't do it
with your
according
God.
to
Yes,
their
ma'am.
laws, to their standards, then there's a
Yes,
form of punishment that's normally cast upon you in the form of fear. Either you're going to burn in a lake of
Mm-hmm.
fire or you're going to hell, whatever the case may be, to keep you indoctrinated under their laws and under their rules and regulations that they created on how you should worship God. Now, first of all, and then
Yes, ma'am.
fear God and all of this intimidation about whatever this being
Yes.
is, and then perform the rituals that you must do,
Mm-hmm.
taking sacraments and
Mm.
things of that nature. What you're doing is you're giving all your spiritual power away to something outside of you. And also
hmm,
in not knowing the history of your creator, which is you, your
Thank you.
divine self, right? Okay.
yes,
And so the attack is
yes.
on your divinity, especially women, because women have no clue how they connect to source itself as well to the earth they
Because
stand on.
religion
And I
Religion
think
has
that's
also made us, it's made us see that we are like at the low totem pole. Even when you talk about different books of the Bible, different, it's hard to relate, to certain things, because what if you don't have a Jezebel spirit? What if you don't have a spirit of iniquities as far as in your body, but you're dealing with it's not more so you, it's dealing with other people. And it doesn't give you kind of like tools for you to know how to, they teach you not to tell nobody. They teach you to be quiet. They just say, "Oh, vengeance is mine," says the Lord. But
Okay,
you
but
really,
they make you
but
passive, right? It's to make you passive,
yes.
and it
yeah.
makes you a robot, basically a bot,
Mm.
right? You are
Oh,
a spiritual bot.